This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Good morning with Jamie Lent, Brendan Reichers, and for Jeff this morning. I'm Chuck Heinz. Great to have you with us today. If you have a score prediction, you can hit us up on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to doublet973.com for that, or the mobile app. The Visual Edge IT hotline is open too. The mobile app is presented by Happy State Bank. One of the things that Coach McGuire said last night, Jamie, on his radio show here on Double T 97.3, is that it is shocking to think that Mike Gundy is not the head football coach at Oklahoma State. I mean, just
it is weird.
You know, just when you think about it, and how he said it's really gone downhill the last 2 years. You know, obviously they've lost 13 Big 12 games in a row, and it feels like the wheels have come obviously completely off of that program in a pretty quick amount of time.
Sure, no doubt.
You know, and you know, some would say, well, some of that's maybe self-inflicted in terms of how things go, but I guess it also goes to show you just how quickly things can turn. You can go from feast to famine, and pretty, because I mean, obviously they had a really high degree level of success, and now they're a program really with, for lack of a better word, without any identity at all.
Yeah, the identity that they have right now is being the kind of the worst team in the league. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you might even, I don't know, you might even go so far as to say the worst Power 4 team that they have that's in the country right now.
Yeah, I think Choice said that yesterday.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that I dove into looking at the rest of them, but they might be. Mm-hmm.
Well, that makes me feel good that I said something that Choice said. That,
yeah, I don't know. I just tapped the brakes on that.
that you kind of signed off on. So I feel like, wow, that makes me feel like I'm smart to a degree. To a degree.
Okay. Whatever it takes, man.
Well, I mean, you know,
it's your birthday week, so you should feel smart, man. Anyways.
That's you know, that was yesterday. You know, that was.
Oh, it's still your week, though.
No, that's more of a girl thing.
I was gonna say, I'm wondering where he's going with this.
This is more of a girl thing than a guy thing. I think we just kind of have it and move on, right?
Sure.
You know, it's kind of the way that it goes, but it is weird to think how bad they are and kind of where they are, and then what does the future look like for them? Because I guess when you think about it, at the end of the day, it's a Big 12 job, right? To moving forward, you know, looking to the future.
Yeah, but it's not a Big 12 job anybody wants until there's. I'm sure any coach that is thinking about that position is thinking about, okay, what's the situation? Let me dive into this. Why are they suddenly started to struggle? Was it about Mike Gundy not wanting to spend NIL money, or was the funds not there for him to spend? Mm-hmm. Okay, and if that's the case, you're taking a job knowing that you're going to fail. You may get paid well over 2 or 3 years before you get fired, but if that's a school that's not going to commit financially to the NIL game, then you know you're going to really struggle to win.
And I'm sure the folks at Oklahoma State are like, hey, no, man, we're ponying up. You know, we're all in. You know, we feel like that we've got, you know, the opportunities for people to contribute, and we're going to, you know, invest lots of money and all those kinds of things. But you're right. I mean, if you're a new head coach or an established head coach, you got to see that the current school, the school that you're potentially going to go to, is committed to, you know, making a game of it, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, right now, they got nowhere to go but up. I mean, they're 121st in the FBS in total offense. Texas Tech, by coincidence, is number 3, or by comparison, number 3. In defense, just total defense, they're 132nd. The Red Raiders are 11th. In rush defense, they're 105th. The Red Raiders are 1st in the country. That's pretty impressive. Mm-hmm. And you hope that you can continue to, make that happen as you play these tougher teams. Next week K-State, and the following week BYU, and then finishing up the season like you're going to. So it kind of makes you wonder, okay, what do you want to establish first tomorrow? Do you want to establish the pass? Do you want to establish the run? Do you want to just establish domination? What you kind of get to kind of pick your poison, so to speak, because they're really not good at anything.
Yes, Chuck. Yeah, I'll just go with domination.
Okay.
I think probably after last week, you want to make sure you're getting your running backs more involved, and you're committing to that.
And I think the other thing that I think and I don't want to put words in your mouth, so you can use your words, but this is kind of what I've been hearing from you this week. If you wanted to see one thing tomorrow from Texas Tech's offense, you'd want to come away with a feeling that they allowed, even though they say that Will has full command of the playbook, that they used the playbook and didn't kind of baby him tomorrow. Yes,
and also that he took the bait, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Because I think there are some thoughts that some of the stuff that was at his disposal this past week, he kind of checked out of, and kind of went more nervous himself, with more conservative himself, and maybe checked into those quarterback runs more than they would have preferred.
Yeah.
So A, give him the opportunity to use the whole playbook, and B, get him to where he's comfortable actually executing those plays.
Because if you kind of just step back and look at it, players sometimes they're always going to, and I'm not saying the Tech players, just players in general, generically speaking, no matter the level, they're always going to the complaint's going to be, didn't get the playing time, they won't throw me the ball, they won't let me do this. But then the coaches, they don't really get the opportunity to say, we called this play, we had this play set up, the play was supposed to work. But he checked out of it because he was too nervous, or didn't have confidence in himself, or didn't want to take the risk, or didn't feel good about it, or, whatever the litany of reasons are. The coaches really can't say that back to the players, because then it looks like they're blaming it on the players, and it looks like
they can say it to the players. They just can't say it to the public.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And they can say it internally, going, hey, what you did here, You messed up because you had this. Your teammate was downfield. He was. All you have to do is throw the ball to the spot. That's in and of itself quite a task. Throw the ball to the spot. And Coach McGuire said, on his show last night, he said, "Man," he goes, "that back shoulder throw for the touchdown. That's as good as anybody can do." He listed off pros. He listed off college guys. But there were times that maybe he didn't feel confident about throwing the ball down the field or to the spot, and as a result checked out of it, and the play didn't get what they needed it to get. Mm-hmm. So hopefully this is kind of one of those get confident game, right, for your QB1 and maybe others too, because you're playing an opponent that who knows what are they really into this one? They're already looking to next year and trying to put their highlight reel together for their next stop?
I would think a lot of those guys are trying to earn themselves a good transfer spot.
Mm-hmm. So that's what they're playing for, right?
Yeah. Well, okay. That whatever it takes to motivate you, I guess.
Yeah, but that's certainly something you could probably take a look at for a lot of those guys. Going okay, they ain't paying me here. Where am I going next week? Where am I going next year? Am I going into Sheboygan State, or am I going to Ohio State? Ohio State probably pays more than Sheboygan State.
I would guess so.
But you got to be really, really good to go to the Ohio State University.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
It is the morning drive that you've stumbled your way into this morning. If you haven't figured that out yet, it's Jamie Lent and Brenna Reichers, and for Jeff McGuire, and I'm your humble host, Chuck Heinz. Glad to be here this morning here on the morning drive.
The emphasis on humble.
Humble, yes, very, very humble, very humble.
Well, humble brag, I do this the best.
I'm not sure really what I do the best, but it's whatever it is that I do the best. If I can figure that out, I'll find it. Jamie, the Red Raiders will play tomorrow, and the date will be October the 25th, okay? The last time that you played on October the 25th, it was a no bueno day. The time before that, though, was a bueno day. The time before that was not. Last time you played October 14th at number 10 TCU, Red Raiders fell 82-27.
You just said October 14th.
Did I really?
You just said last time you played October 14th?
On October 25th, I'm sorry. October 25th. I don't know why I said October 14th.
Hey?
But last time you played on October 25th, I got to get my brain checked, which was in 2014. You lost to TCU 82-27, okay? That was
a bad day.
That's the game that they buried the football over there at the football practice facility somewhere. Coach Kingsbury they burned the tape and buried the football. You also played Kansas. They were ranked 19th at the time in 2008 at KU. Red Raiders won that game 63-21.
Okay,
that was a good day.
Mm-hmm.
You played in 2003 at Missouri and lost 62-31. So something tells me tomorrow's going to be a high-scoring game.
For one team, yeah, I would agree.
For one team, yeah. Our man Juan M. checks in. He said, agreed with what you guys were saying about consumer confidence levels, but my thoughts are still high on our boys. Texas Tech 56, Oklahoma State 13. Do you think you'll have one or two 100-yard rushers? And do you think you'll have at least one receiver go for over 100 yards?
Just one 100-yard rusher, and yes, you'll have a receiver go over 100 yards.
Okay. And will the quarterbacks go for north of 350? I say quarterbacks because I have a feeling at some point in time, if this game gets out of hand, that you're going to get some snaps for Mitch Griffiths.
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
No. Okay.
Say no.
No. Okay. I'll put you down for a no. I don't ever keep track of all the things that you say yes and no, and
that's good.
I probably should.
That's good
because I feel like that you're right more often than you're wrong. Looking at the top 25 tomorrow for your opportunity to move up. Texas Tech goes into the ball game tomorrow ranked 14th, and going and being ranked and moving up is important, obviously, with the college football playoffs and how you're perceived and how you're looked. So maybe some style points would be good for tomorrow. Maybe not giving up points would be good for tomorrow to help you with those style points. Ole Miss and Oklahoma play in Norman. If you had your choice of a team losing, is it always going to be Oklahoma, or do you choose Ole Miss here because they're ranked 8th?
I'm not an Oklahoma hater,
okay.
So I don't always root for them to lose. I'm really, that one doesn't much matter to me as far as
either one. Whoever loses, you're good with. Okay.
It's funny. I was way more into you moving up when you were inside the top 10. You know, now it's kind of like your point is absolutely valid. You know, about you're still trying to get inside that top 12 and all that, and even get back to the top 10, which I think you have a great chance to do. But it's funny when you're outside the top 10, that becomes less exciting to me.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm so spoiled, right? Because we're always in the top 10.
Right. Yeah, right. The thing is, for both schools, it would give them a second loss. Somebody potentially is really on the verge of being, knocked out of, college football playoff contention there.
But still, I mean, it's not as if it's a bad loss for either one of them.
No question.
I don't think that would knock them out completely.
No, it's just another
check against them. Yeah.
Number 10 Vanderbilt plays host to number 15 Missouri. Both those schools are 6-1 on the season.
I want Vanderbilt knocked out.
Okay.
Go Missouri.
Okay.
I can't stand Vanderbilt because of Diego Pavia.
Their baseball coach?
No, their quarterback.
Oh, their quarterback. Okay.
Yeah, the one who.
Oh, he's moved around, right?
He's the one that the reason we changed the whole junior college years
that's right.
don't count.
That's right.
And he, sued because the junior college years were counting at that point. It was keeping him from earning a living.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, isn't it interesting how?
And guess what happened? The NCAA bowed down to him.
They caved to him.
Yeah.
See, when you tell me you don't like a school, I immediately go to it's got to be baseball related.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a fair guess.
That was bad. It was incorrect information this time. Okay, BYU and Iowa State. Iowa State already has 2 losses. BYU doesn't have any. And you don't play them next week because you play K-State, but you play them here on November the 8th. BYU is ranked 11th. Do you want them to get a loss or Iowa State to get a third?
Oh, not because of the ranking, but because of the standings in the Big 12 Conference. You're rooting for Iowa State to win this game.
Yeah.
Because BYU is currently ahead of you.
That's correct.
So that's more important than the ranking part of it. Yeah.
Okay. And then, if you handed them a second loss here, then that obviously gives you the tiebreak in the Big 12 standings as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what about Baylor and Cincinnati? Baylor's 4-3, Cincinnati's 6-1, but they're ahead of you in the Big 12 standings. Are you ready for Cincinnati to take a loss?
Same deal. They're currently in front of you now. I think they have a tough schedule, and I think they have the potential to have 2 or 3 losses. But yeah, I think. Much as we all hate to do it, I think Red Raider fans are probably rooting for Baylor in this one.
And then are you rooting for Arizona State against Houston?
No.
You're rooting for Houston?
Houston.
Knock out Arizona State?
Yeah, Arizona State's got a tiebreaker against you. Okay. They both have 1 loss in Big 12 play, but yeah, you want to... Arizona State's got the tiebreaker against you. You want them to be as far below you as possible.
Okay. Well,
you want them to factor in.
I think that would probably be a huge upset if Houston went in there. And
I don't know that I'd call it huge upset considering that Jordan Tyson's not playing for Arizona State.
They still have a 72% chance of winning on the ESPN matchup.
Yep, I still would pick Arizona State, but I just don't think I'd call it a huge upset.
Okay. All right.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
7:16 this morning here on the Morning Drive. I had a guy that wanted a laminated rule of life list from me the other day. I don't have any of those. Mike should get some.
You don't have a laminator?
Do not have a laminator, no. Is that something I should have? Do you have one, Brendan?
It's pretty
no,
cool.
But if I had one, I'd use it.
Yeah. I do not have a.
I'd like one. That'd be cool.
Like one for your baseball stuff. Would that help you with that?
I'd probably use it. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of keep things nice and clean.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody says this. I'd like to see these guys run a simple draw play smoothly before they worry about triple option, flea flicker, double sweep, Hail Mary, hook and lateral plays. We're just kicking it around here.
Okay.
Man. We're not,
my bad. See, I'm not a good play caller.
We're not.
No question.
We're not going from here to Coach McGuire's office, or Coach Leftwich's office, with the fresh pins and the grease board, portable grease board for them.
We've tried. They won't let us. There's security in between us and them.
That'd be pretty cool, though, if you could just kind of walk in there. Hey, I've got an idea. How do you think that would work?
No, I don't think that would be cool.
Hey, I've got an idea. Like, if you walked into Coach Tadlock's office and said,
like our football team would lose more if anybody was just allowed to walk in and give them ideas.
I've got a double shift idea for you, Coach. Something along those lines. Super shift or something like that. Or a new signal for, hitting a double.
He'd say,
you just dial those up, right? You just dial them up, don't you?
He'd say, hey, why don't you, Jamie, you go back to the radio booth and I'll call you when I need you.
Yeah.
No, he'd be real polite. He'd listen to my story or my suggestion, and then I'd walk away, and then he'd look at Coach Thomas or one of the other coaches, Coach Gutierrez, and he'd be like, what in the world was that? What are we doing here?
I took this as a positive in an interaction that I had this week with Coach Gurley. I went to practice.
She didn't tell you to leave?
She did not. No,
Okay.
She did not tell me to leave.
Definitely a positive.
She did not tell me to leave. And I met a couple of that's young women. Because they're younger than me, so everybody's young. But these ladies work for a company that does analytics, and I was like, man, that is really cool. And so I chatted them up there as I was watching practice, and just 'cause I wanted to get to know them a little bit and what they do and who they are and all that kind of stuff. And so I
It's just surprising. Just so out of character for you, Chuck.
I learned about them, where they're from, what their background was, and coach. One was a former coach, at Rutgers and at Yale, which I thought, man, that's really really cool. And so when I was talking to Coach Gerlich, I said, hey, I met your gals over there, and she goes. And the analytics guy, and then she turned to one of the other coaches. She's like, I bet he loved that. I did love that. She goes, I bet you love that. I go, I did love that. And I thought that was really cool. So anyway, so it was. I didn't know that they had that. So this is year 2 for them, just to have tendencies and things like that. Somebody wants to know, did you give them a business card? Of course I did. I had them on me, man. I was all suited up. Of course I gave them
I think I've heard of the company that you're talking about and how they're used across the board, like in a bunch of different sports and tech, and how big of a deal that is now, and analytics and that kind of thing. And yesterday I was down in the baseball facility, and they've got basically a lab set up now for their pitchers. And it was really interesting just to be able to see all the equipment and technology that's at the disposal of the athletes today. And it was just interesting that sitting there or standing there looking at what they had set up for, I think they were having a session today. And so basically you have, go underneath inside where the cages are, right? And basically one of them is for the pitchers with a mound, or maybe a couple of them are for pitchers, I'm not sure. Anyway, with a mound, and then there's, 6-8 cameras just all around, not too far from them. And everything that they do, is recorded, and then nearly instantaneously they've got computer screens over on the side and all that, and they can analyze what you're doing and how you're not repeating your delivery, or you're dropping your elbow too low, or you're whatever. And it was just really, for a baseball nerd like myself, it was really intriguing to see that. Now, I would love to be able to sit there and watch them actually do it.
Yeah.
And watch Coach Foster and Coach Merriman sit there and analyze what they're seeing. And now Coach Merriman, this is really one of the reasons that he was brought here to help. He's well known, or was in the major leagues, as being one of the guys that was like a leader in the analytics and using this kind of technology to help guys. And so I would love to watch him, do his thing with the pitchers and what they're noticing and what they're not noticing. I feel like just standing there as a fly on the wall, I might get a tad bit smarter just listening.
I've kind of felt the same way.
But across the board in all sports, this part of it, the analyzing and all that, is a huge part of college sports now.
Tendencies and things like that, and kind of how it works, and that apparently this company will help with scouting reports as well, and provide provide some extra info. Of course, at the end of the day, it's about scoring more runs than the other team, or it's about making more shots than the other team. But these are ways that they can help do that. All right, Jamie will have a question for us at 7:30. Here's my quick question for you this morning. One of them. So can you compare, do you think Oklahoma State is better than all 3 of your non-conference opponents, or do you think that they compare with Oregon State in terms of level of talent and what it's going to take to beat them?
I'm not sure that Oregon State ended up being the best of the 3.
Okay.
I think I believe them to be better. I have not watched a ton of Oklahoma State football this year. I think I believe them to be better, but I reserve the right to change my mind after watching this Saturday.
Okay.
So, Yeah, not much better than, say, Oregon State or
I mean, you
whoever.
can't say Kent State and you can't say Arkansas Pine Bluff. Can you?
Well, those are the only three.
Right.
So I have to choose.
You have to choose.
I think I saw last weekend where Kent State won. So
Yeah, well, even a blind squirrel finds a nut,
Oregon State's only got one of those this year, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They fired their coach.
They did. Yes, they did.
Oklahoma State fired their coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Centec Hanks writes in, Chuck, I have to admit I'm impressed because analytics involve complex math, and math just doesn't seem to be your strong suit. Now, there's some truth to that, although I do like to mess around with the statistical numbers. I mean, but I do double check myself, Centec Hanks. Sometimes the math on the fly is not necessarily something that I'd do a really good job with sometimes. Mm-hmm. Most times. This TrackMan Analytics, it's pretty great, used for pitching and hitting metrics. My son has done workouts with it at PG Showcase. Did Texas Tech just get it? Would have thought they would have had a while now. They've
had it for a while.
They've had it for a while. I mean, we don't necessarily get exposed to everything that everybody has. So
but
sometimes you have to walk in at the right time.
Yeah, definitely different technology and different programs that different coaches use to try to better their players.
Yeah, I'd like somebody to do analytics on this show, or just
I would not. What is it that takes these guys off the rails?
The
analytics show just about anything.
Could kind of analyze myself right out of a job, right?
What percentage of the time are these three accurate?
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
But next, Jamie's question of the day.
Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, so I got two questions for you today. I'm asking you, one, what is the most likely upset in the Big 12 Conference this weekend? And two, which upset do you want to happen the most? Now I'll give you the favorites. Okay? KU's favored over Kansas State. Iowa State's favored over BYU. Texas Tech over Oklahoma State. Cincinnati over Baylor. TCU over West Virginia. Arizona State over Houston. And Utah over Colorado. Don't need the lines necessarily. Just where is the most likely upset? And which one would you like to happen the most?
I have a hard time understanding how KU is favored over K-State when K-State's won 16 straight. You have to go back to 2008, which is you've got Mangino, Turner Gill. I mean, you got a half dozen coaches that have been there since then. So I don't know how they're favored, but
I think, Chuck, it might be because this year's Kansas team is better than this year's Kansas State.
Slightly. But I mean, 3.5 is basically, it's almost a push because it's a home game for KU.
Okay, so you're arguing against yourself now.
But still, when a team's beaten another team 16 straight, you would think that even the boys and girls in Vegas and wherever else. All right, the most likely upset. God. I think,
didn't mean for this to be so difficult for you.
No. I think the most, and again, here's another one. BYU is favorite gets 2.5 points over Iowa State because Iowa State's playing at home, and BYU's the number 11 team in the country. Okay, so that's the Captain Obvious choice. But you know what? I'm going to take Houston over Arizona State. And you said what's the least likely? Is that the other part of the question? Most and least?
No. Most likely, and which one you want to happen the most. This was really this question set you off.
Yeah, a brain teaser. I want Baylor to beat Cincinnati. But I tell you what, Baylor over Cincinnati as the one that's most likely. I want Houston to beat Arizona State as the one I want the most.
Okay.
Brennan.
Yesterday, I said that the most likely upset in the Big 12 this weekend would be Kansas State over Kansas, but I think I'm going to change my mind today. I might say West Virginia over TCU, because really, what is this TCU team? I mean, they've had their highs, they've had their lows, but I think West Virginia can sneak up and bite TCU. We saw Kansas State do it to TCU a couple weeks ago, and TCU got a big win against Baylor last week, but I just don't know who this TCU team is yet. And for the game that I want most to win, I want Houston to beat Arizona State. You need the help in the Big 12 standings, and I think Arizona State can enter that game riding in a little too high. Might have a bit of a hangover from last Saturday's win, and Houston can bite them.
Yeah, minus their go-to wide receiver as well, Jordan Tyson.
Why couldn't he have been out last week?
Yeah. All right, so the one that I think is the most likely, I think it's BYU at Iowa State.
Yeah, probably so.
Okay.
Yeah, you're probably right.
The one that I want to happen the most is it's 1A and 1B for me, but it's Houston to beat Arizona State with you guys. So yeah, I want that would be great to put them a game behind the Red Raiders in the standings. Have a second loss for them. Yeah.
I just don't see how KU can be favored over K-State. I mean, it's just not going to happen. They'll probably lose their 17th in a row.
Well, Chuck, I mean, if we're going off of,
History,
yeah, the Jayhawks have an 11-game lead in that series over Kansas State. They've dominated the Wildcats. Although it used to be a 27-game lead.
Yeah. Used to be a 27-game
16 years ago, it was a 27-game lead.
Wow.
Just had to make things interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And remember, Chuck, choose joy.
Choose joy.
Choose joy.
Why did this question bother you so much?
I don't know, because I don't agree with the odds makers on this. I don't think that Iowa State should be the favorite. I don't think that K-State should be the favorite.
Okay, well then why didn't you pick either one of those games as the one that were most likely the upsets then? If you thought those two teams shouldn't have been favorites.
Yeah.
That would have been the easy choice.
It would have. Viva 73 says this. Come on, Chuck, you're overthinking this like you do everything else. Wow. I don't know. Have you been around me much with some decisions I've made?
I would take that as a compliment, Chuck.
I don't know that I overthink
Nobody
things.
ever accuses me of overthinking.
Yeah, I think
because that would infer that I was thinking at some point.
Right, that's the point.
Yeah,
that's the point. I don't necessarily think that I overthink. Thoughts, comments. What are you laughing at now?
I didn't expect.
I know.
You to get frustrated.
I know. I got a little frustrated with that. Yeah.
Over there popping off the Lord's name, and I mean heavy breathing and sighing and
all those things.
I didn't mean
the
to
Lord's
upset
name.
you.
Did I say the Lord's name?
You did.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you were disheveled, man. You were frustrated with me, and I apologize. I did not mean to. It's your birthday week. I did not mean to upset you.
My birthday week. Now you're trying to get under my skin. But I'm not gonna let you.
There is no reason that we can't celebrate you again today, Chuck.
Somebody says you could hear the gears moving. Choosing joy. I did meet up with my fellows at Twin Peaks yesterday. The boys were there.
Plenty of reason right there to have joy, right?
Yeah, we had joy. We had joy together. Yep. Mm-hmm. We had joy together. So that was fun.
Glad that you didn't have too much joy and it caused you to be able to handle your vehicle on the way home.
No, I was fine. Yeah, I was
sure that's what they all say.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I can't handle about 3/4 of a beer, then that's a problem. We'll be at the Overton today. The Tech Talk fellas will. So come out there and see Clint and Gus and me at some point.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Here on the Morning Drive, get a communique from the great Gordo, Jimmy.
The great one.
The great Gordo. TGG. Dear Chuck, how are you? I am fine. Did you know that we are going to have a sports equinox on October 27th? So meaningful with no preseason games, etc. in our big four sports in these very United States, with games in the NFL, Major League Baseball, National Hockey League, and NBA, just so you know. Love you. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the donut talk that you give us. Gordo. P.S. I have Tech winning 77-7 in a very scary pre-Halloween type score. Tell one Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire that Gordo is a big fan. What about BR? What about Brennan?
I have something I want to share with you, Chuck. Or not share, but ponder.
Okay.
You said that on the chat line that you find The Office disturbing.
Yes.
Can you explain that?
I don't like that show. It's just, I find it very, very disturbing. The interpersonal relationships and the activities and it's unsettling. Very unsettling to me.
I think this is what...
I hate that show, as a matter of fact.
The Office is what Clint Scott really wants our building to be like.
Really?
That's. I mean, I think Clint, desires to live in that world. Yeah.
There's no world that I desire to live in like that. Okay.
How? I mean, it's kind of like spring or summer football leagues. Mm-hmm. How can it? What was the word you just used? It's disturbing
and unsettling.
How can it disturb you if you just don't watch it?
Just even seeing it on the TV guide just makes me. I can't get away from it fast enough.
I cannot believe you lived to be 65 in a day.
Why?
I can't believe your heart didn't explode. If these little things disturb you,
well, I get it.
I can't believe you're not lit. Well, I was just about to say I can't believe you're not in a room with padded walls. But then again,
I am.
Here we are. Here we are.
I see, but I release all this stuff out to you and our fine listening audience.
Oh, so we're the therapy.
Yeah, it's very.
When do I get paid?
Very catharsis. Cathartic. Very cathartic. Okay, Jamie. What is best, or does it really matter? Is there a winner that's best for baseball or best for baseball fans? Is it the Dodgers winning, or would it be better for other teams and other fan bases to see the Blue Jays win?
I think the answer is for more teams to win. And so spread it out and not just have it be a league about the one team with the biggest payroll always gets to win. So I guess I will say that you should want the Blue Jays to win. I surely do not, but...
why don't you want the Blue Jays to win?
Because they took down my team, and
okay, that's fair.
Some of it that I didn't really like the part of it.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's
not
fair.
necessarily the play on the field, but stuff after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that. I can support you on that. Brennan, do you care who wins the World Series?
I like their team though. I like their team.
Not really, to some extent. I'm not a fan of the Dodgers. I don't care for Toronto, mainly because it's a American League team, and I want the AL team to be the Rangers, which obviously that's not the case this year. So I don't really care. I don't have a gripe with the Dodgers. They have a lot of talented, fantastic players. They're a fun team to watch. But the Blue Jays have proven themselves to be among the top of the league, obviously. So I'm just hoping for a fun series. I don't want it to be a 4-0 series or a 4-1 series. I want it to be close.
I really like how the Blue Jays roster is put together, so that it's with young and old, and young superstars and all that are fun to watch. So I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any stretch of the imagination. Again, I think the Dodgers all season long, I feel like they're the most talented team. Mm-hmm. But it's just a matter of whether they put it together at the right time, and it looks like they absolutely have.
Yeah, looks like they have. Would it warm your heart if Don Mattingly and the Blue Jays won the World Series and he got a World Series ring as a champion?
I'd be happy for him. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Mm-hmm. All right. It's 8:20 this morning here on the Morning Drive. What's your take on the Cowboys and the Broncos for Sunday, a game that you'll hear on Double T 97.3 at 2:30, the kick at 3:25? Is this a bit of a test for the Cowboys in that, hey, you go win on the road, you beat the Broncos, a team that had a historic come-from-behind win last week, kind of shows that you've kind of stacked success a little bit?
The last thing you just said there, can you play good 2 weeks in a row? Because I think we've seen some good performances by the Cowboys so far this year, but it's been pretty inconsistent. And so I'm wondering, can you do it 2 weeks in a row? And I thought the Cowboys looked their best all season long last week, and it wasn't against a terrible, terrible football team, so that's good. Broncos, I think, are a better football team, plus you're going on the road, so I think it's a bigger challenge. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's any question there, but I'd like to see that Dallas defense play like it did last week.
Yeah. The Cowboys are 3-3-1. Broncos are 5-2 on the season. You want to take a stab at what the matchup predictor has for this?
Broncos 73%.
56.2%.
Yeah, they're wrong.
Okay.
Watch this. Cowboys will win by 30.
Yeah,
they play like they did last week. They get a shot.
Yeah, no.
Because clearly the Broncos didn't play great last week. They should have lost to the Giants at home.
Right. The Giants were probably a couple plays away from winning. Bo Nix has thrown for 1,556 yards, 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Dak Prescott has thrown for 1,881 yards, 16 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions. And looks like he's got a lot of capable receivers now with CeeDee Lamb back, and what George Pickens has done, and what the tight end has done, but you're right. I mean, what the running back has done. So kind of feel like, if you can just get some stops defensively, that your offense is going to score. Now, how many points do they have to score? We'll figure that out too. So I'm looking forward to that. The Texans play host to the 49ers. Man, if they wanted to try to salvage their season, this would be the start of it. And we'll have this game for you on 100.7 The Score at 11:30. The kick just after noon. But the Texans appear to be on a boat going nowhere, Jamie, except to Losersville.
Well, that was harsh.
Well, I mean, speaking the truth, I mean,
they've not played well, no doubt.
They're 2-4. The 49ers are 5-2. But Houston's favored by 2.5, probably because it's a home game. But I don't think they win.
It's home or away?
It's home.
Yeah, I probably picked the Texans.
Okay.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.